So in our earlier classes, in last class, we have learned SOM, self-organizing maps. Self-organizing maps. In our last class, we have learned self-organizing maps, coherent self-organizing maps, how the mapping, how the training of neural network is taking place in the coherent self-organizing maps. What are the patterns we have seen? So in continuation with last class, my voice audible? Hope my voice is audible. Yes, 288, 19 series 288. You have something to and question? Yes, my voice is audible. Is my voice audible? Please respond. So next topic in your syllabus we need to cover is bidirectional associative memory mapping. Okay, bidirectional associative memory mapping. So to learn that, bidirectional associative memories, architecture of Hopfield network. Hopfield network, discrete and continuous versions, storage and recall algorithm, stability analysis, capacity of Hopfield network, memory-based learning algorithms and applications. Memory-based learning algorithms and some applications. So before moving on to bidirectional associative memories, we need to know what is meant by associative memory. Okay, what is meant by associative memory? So till last class, we learned training up your neural network with simple data. Okay, simple data. But usually we go for pattern association. Pattern association. Some sort of patterns like your alphabets A, B, C, D, E, alphabets patterns. Okay, so in this pattern association, you need to frame association between related patterns. Okay, the patterns may be of same type or maybe of different types. So here in your pattern association, first thing we'll be learning is Herb rule for pattern association. Okay, simple problems also I'll mention so that it will be easy and understandable for you all people to learn. Okay, Associative neural networks are single layers. Okay, these associative neural networks are single layers, but they are determined to store set of pattern associations. Okay, association memory is simplified model. It is the simplified model of human brain. Associative memory net is a simplified model of human brain. So, in this associative neural networks are single layer neural networks only, but whose weights are determined, which are storing some pattern associations. Okay, the associative nets are basically two types. That is, if the input vector pair is same as the output vector pair, it results in auto-associative network. Okay, if the input vector pair is same as the output vector pair, then it results in auto-associative net. If the input vector pair is different from the output vector pair, then it is hetero-associative net. So the algorithms for this pattern association, usually we use delta rule, Herb rule for the auto-associative networks. Okay, first let us discuss how to derive the Herb rule for pattern association. Hope all of you have understood what is meant by pattern association. Okay, some patterns like we are using some patterns. Suppose this is E pattern or S pattern. So it need to identify this alphabets. Okay, usually it will be given in the symbols like this E. So which will be identified with ones and minus ones. Yes, will be indicated with dots like this. So you need to, generally we know E writing continues like this, but your neural network need to identify this associated patterns and it need to process. Okay, it need to calculate weights for each pattern. So these patterns, how they will be memorized in your neural network. That is your associative memory network. Okay, you need to train up your neural network as per the patterns. Okay, first let us discuss Herb rule for pattern association. This is a very simple rule and very frequently used for finding the weights of an associative memory net in is Herb rule. This method is used for both binary as well as bipolar vectors. The training and testing vectors are not the same. See, I'm using two words, training and testing. Okay, the training vector is denoted as S colon T and testing vector is X, small x. Testing vector is small x. Okay, so initially the first step, you have 5 different steps in this Herb's rule. First step, initially all the weights are assumed to be zeros. So Wij is equal to 0. For each training input target output vector S dot S colon T, you need to repeat the steps 3 to 5. Step 3, set activation for input units to present training input. So Xi is equal to Si. You are assigning the input units to present training input. Okay. Next, fourth step. Set activation for output units to current target output. Your target output is mentioned as T. So you are considering Yi is equal to Pi or Yj is equal to Tj. You can consider another variable. Next step is adjust the weights. So you need to adjust the weights. Wij new is equal to Wij old plus Xi into Yj. Here you can rewrite this Yi with Yj. Okay. So you are adjusting your weights. Next process is how to determine this weights, new weights. Okay. So step by step procedures. You have 5 different steps to apply this Hub rule for pattern association. S is a vector. Okay, S is vector with n components and T is also vector with m components. So you are going for evaluating product of these two, S and T. So S matrix size is n by 1 and T matrix size is 1 by n. So here you need to go for transpose of this S matrix. Usually it is 1 by n. So it's transpose, you get n by 1. Okay. So you are multiplying S and T. Gives the weight matrix to store the association based on Hub rule formulation. Okay. So to find weight matrix, you are set for a set of association. So suppose P is equal to 1, S1, T1, where for all the other values, we are going to consider similarly for all other values of P, P2, P3, S2, T2, S3, T3, like that. The weight matrix is given as algebraic sum of SP, Tj. This equation is the sum of outer product matrices required to store each association separately. In generally, the weight determination formula is S transpose P into TP, which is used to set the weights for net using herb learning. Okay, so net in the sense here network. So this I want to you people to understand with an example. Okay, let me consider the example. So here two input row vectors are considered. Okay, so you are given with S is equal to vector x1, x2, x3, and x4. Okay, so you are asked to train herb output product for input row vectors to output row vectors mentioned. Output row vector mentioned T is equal to T1, T2. Find the weight matrix. Okay, different set of patterns are mentioned for S and T. Okay, you are mentioned with let me write in text box and it will be clear. S1 is equal to 1, 1, 0, 0. Four variables are mentioned. Okay, initially your S matrix. S is input row vector. S is input row vector. X1, X2, X3, and X4. Okay. T is again output row vectors mentioned as T1, T2, like this. Okay. So find the weight matrix when S is equal to 1, 1, 1, 0, 0 and T1 mentioned as 1, 0. Like that, S2 is equal to 1, 1, 1, 0. And T2 associated with 0 and 1. Okay, next S3. You are mentioned with S3 also. S3, S4. 4 are given 0, 0, 1, 1. T3 to be 1, 0. S4 is equal to 0, 1, 0, 0. sorry, 0, and C4 mentioned as 1 0. Okay, so you need to find out weight matrix for this input row vector and output row vector. So initially you are assuming your weights to 0. You are initializing your weights to 0. Find the outer product for each input. Okay, that is you are calculating W1 as W1 is equal to S1 transpose. Okay, S1 transpose T1. S1 transpose T1. So S1 size matrix is initially it is 1 by 4, but T1 size is 1 by 2. You cannot go with matrix multiplication. So preferably you need to go for transpose of your S1. S1 should be transposed, and then you can go with the product. So W1 will be, what will be the size of your W1? 4 by 1 into 1 by 2. So its size will be 4 by 2. Okay, the size of your W1 matrix will be 4 by 2 is equal to matrix 1 into 1, 1, 0. Hope you are able to follow this. 0. Likewise, you are writing your W2, W3 and W4 also. Finally, after evaluating your W1 plus W2 plus W3 plus W4, you need to calculate. Okay. So your weight matrix W will be of the size 4 by 2, which is sum of all the 4 weight matrices W1, W2, W3. So finally the solution will be 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1 and 1, 0. Finally, the weight matrix, which is determined by Hub's rule. Okay, it is very simple, just matrix multiplications and taking the sum of all the 4 weight matrices. It should be your final weight matrix for the given input vector and output target vector. Okay, similarly, you can go for application of your delta rule also. This is regarding Herb's rule. Okay, next delta rule is also there. There are certain steps to be followed for this delta rule, which we have learned while learning the single layer neural network training. Okay, so when you are going for associative memory, definitely you need to consider the patterns. Okay, training your neural network with patterns. So the training of neural network with patterns is very, very important. In order to understand your bidirectional associative memory networks, definitely you should have basic knowledge about this pattern associative network, in which you need to evaluate your weight matrices. Okay, weight matrices. So simple weight matrix I have shown you. Okay, you are given with yes, input row vector yes. Okay, input row vector yes, and t vector is also given. S has four variables x1, x2, x3, x4. T has two variables t1, t2. So different patterns are present for S, for all the x1 to x4. See different combinations. Here you can observe. S1 is 1100, S2 is 1110, S3 is 0011, S4 0100. So similarly, you have your T vectors also 1001, 1010. So you need to go for product of each S vector with each T vector. Si multiplied by Tj. Here for your understanding purpose, I have shown one weight matrix W1. You need to calculate your W2, W3 and W4 also. Then only you will get your final W matrix, the weight matrix, which is sum of all the four matrices. Okay, your S1 matrix size, initially S1 matrix size is 1 by 4. T size is 1 by 2. So you cannot perform the matrix multiplication. So you are going for taking transpose of S1 matrix. S1 matrix transpose into T1. So 4 by 1, 1 by 2. So finally the product results in 4 by 2 matrix. Similarly, other weight matrices also. Hope it is clear for everyone. If you have any clarifications, you can ask me. If you have any doubts, I will clarify. So in this pattern association, heteroassociative memory neural networks, the other type, in which the input vector pair is different from output vector pair. Okay. The other type of associative memory neural network is heteroassociative neural network. So in this heteroassociative neural network, you have both input and output vector pairs to be different. Okay. The neural networks are fully interconnected networks, but where inputs and outputs are different, it is called heteroassociative network. This may be asked for 2 marks. Mention what is heteroassociative neural network. So for 2 marks, you may be asked a fully interconnected neural network where inputs and outputs are different is called heteroassociative neural network. If they are same, if the input and outputs are same, then it is known as auto-associative set. Auto-associative set. So you can apply Herb rule, delta rule for pattern association either in your auto-associative network or in your heteroassociative networks. So coming to your next one, bidirectional associative memory. So there are many different problems on this pattern weight matrix determination for different patterns. Okay. So this bidirectional associative memory network, it is again heteroassociative recurrent neural network. The bidirectional associative neural network is heteroassociative recurrent neural network which consists of 2 layers. Okay, and then network it iterates means iterations are taking place by sending signal back and forth between the 2 layers until each neuron activation remains constant for several steps. Okay, so only the name have come as bidirectional associative neural network. So the network iterations are sending signal back and forth between the 2 layers. It has only 2 layers. It is the BAM or bidirectional associative memory is heteroassociative recurrent neural network. Okay, until each neuron's activation remain constant, this is sending signal back and forth between the 2 layers. Okay. Also, the weights are directional weights with the connecting paths. So, there are 3 forms of this BAM: binary form, bipolar form, and continuous form. Activation, updating the activation of your each layer, there may be binary activation, bipolar activation, or continuous form activation. But all the 3 forms have same basic architecture. Okay, in the heteroassociative bidirectional associative memory network, there are only 2 layers, X layer and Y layer. Okay, only 2 layers. In the X layer, there are n units. In Y layer, there are m units. So the connection between these two layers, X layer and Y layer, is bidirectional. You can see in this picture. It is bidirectional. See, earlier we referred only from input to next layer. The weight is mentioned from input to next layer only. But here you can observe it has arrows at the both ends. Okay, you can observe that the weights mentioned from X to Y are indicated as X1, X11, X1J, like that. In the reverse direction, it will be J1, J2, like that. This architecture is similar to, it is similar to your single layer feed forward network, okay, which we have already discussed. There exists n number of input neurons in the input layer and m number of output neurons in the output layer. The training process for this bidirectional memory network is based on Herb's learning rule. This is a fully interconnected network where the inputs and outputs are different. One of the important features for this bidirectional associative memory is that there exists wide interconnection from both X layer to Y layer and vice versa. The link between one layer to the other is indicated by arrow pointing on both sides. Okay, the weights are adjusted between X layer to Y layer and also from Y layer to X layer. So in this BAM, you have two types in existence. They are discrete BAM and continuous BAM. The bidirectional associative memory, you have discrete BAM and continuous BAM. What is this discrete and continuous BAM? How the activation functions are selected? What is the memory storage capacity? What is the activation functions? We shall discuss in our next class. So if you have any queries up to this, you can ask me. Yes. The strength is very poor.